All right, let's finish the pen we started last week. We finished turning the wood. Now we're going to do some sanding and glue and polishing. Let's see what we can make this thing look like. All right, here we go. .240 gauge, and I showed you this last time, and I'll just cut a piece off. Now, when you sand it, you should turn down. I tend to turn down the speed of the lathe, go a little slower. And then this is something called Dr. Kurtz. He has a series of polishing waxes. There's 4 of them, but we start with the scratch free. Then we're going to apply the glue. Then we're going to polish. Okay. So we'll be right back. Now, one thing you're going to go through a lot of when you're making pens, especially, is paper towels. So we're going to apply a little bit of this scratch free on the paper towel. Doesn't need a lot. And I like to just start by just rubbing it on. And then we turn the lathe down more. And we start to rub it in. And you can see already there's a nice shine. And what I do is I literally squeeze it and slide on, so give it like a little polish. You can even rub it back and forth.
Rubbing your wood, are you?
Yeah, I'm playing with my wood. This is literally playing with my wood. And that gives it a nice, this gets the micro scratches. Let's take a look. See how much better it already looks? And we've just started the polishing part of it. See how nice the resin looks. Very cool. All right, so now we're going to apply the glue to give it a coating. Gives it a shiny, almost like a plastic type coating. And it's a CA glue. It's I usually use medium. You could use the light. I prefer the medium. Also, one thing, turn the lathe down when you apply this, because what happens is at high speeds, you can start literally vaporizing the glue. And you get a nasty, nasty vapor that's not good for you. I can't imagine being very good for your lungs. So be careful with that. Just turn the lathe speed down when you're pulling. This cap is literally glued on. I'm trying to break it off. It's just like some stuff with. Oh, and by the way, one other thing. When you start applying the glue, use the nitrile exam gloves. All right, hold up the paper towel, sort of like that, and apply it on the paper towel. Now, I see some people do it, they apply it over the wood. I don't like doing that. I prefer doing it this way. I find it applies better. I find sometimes when I do it the other way, I get these spots of glue. Now, once you have the first layer on, you need to spray it with fixer. So give it a little spray. And then we apply, phew, stuff smells. Apply another layer. I put it on high speed so to let it just sort of dry. Now it's time. Now look at that. That does look pretty. That does look pretty nice.
Yeah.
I have to say. Now we're going to go. There's a 3-part polishing system. Yeah, number 1, Micro Magic number 2, and Micro Magic number 3. And this stuff works really well. I like it. I think it's a good product. Again, I'm not being paid to say that. If they want to send me some free product, I won't turn it down. Pen, but you know, you can't do that. Make sure you get in those crevices to get all the wax. And I believe that that could be called finished in terms of its polishing. It's nice and smooth. It's got a beautiful shine. See if I can get a little closer. I'm going to unmount the camera, get a little closer on that. Now, you need one of these gadgets. It's a Penn Press is what it's called. And don't be too cheap. Get a decent one. This is a good one. I don't remember what I paid for this, but it's worth it. It's a very high quality one. Actually, I'm going to turn it this way. All right. And this is how the pen is assembled. Now, this is where the frustrating damage can happen. I've had beautiful pieces of wood turn, shine, looks gorgeous. Put it on this thing, rushed it, cracked it, and that was it. All the work was for naught. So take your time here. This is where you have to be super, super, super careful. Okay? Don't rush this part. So we have our parts. Finally, we need these. Finally, we need these parts. Now we have to take the pen off the lathe. So I'm going to take these. Sometimes they stick a little because of the glue, but that's okay. So I'm going to take these bushings off. They've actually stuck together, 2 of these. We'll get that later. Sometimes you'll get this happen where where's my monitor? I can't find my monitor. Oh, there I am. Sometimes the the bushing will actually stick to it. You just got to very carefully pop it off. It's all right. It comes off easy. Usually. And then we take off the second one. Carefully, yep. And here are our 2 shiny, finished pieces of pen. And now, I always start with the beak.
The beak.
Peckerhead calls it. I start with the beak. So I decided that this piece was going to be the back end, so we're going to put this on the side for now. And we're going to apply the tip, or the beak. I like the beak. Just staying with our theme. I think that's a good name. Peckerhead, you did good there. I like that.
Thank you.
And everything comes in these little, it's kind of annoying sometimes, but they're all in its individually wrapped plastic, which is, I guess, a good idea, I guess. Now, notice on here there are these little flap wedges, or wings, whatever you want to call this. This is to minimize or limit how far it's going to allow you to push. So it's sort of a safety mechanism. So I don't like to, let me pull one off. So I just give myself just the right amount of space. So let's see. We're going to put the tip, the wing into don't press it in, just put it in so it fits. You're going to use, the machine is going to put the beak tip into the plastic rubber. I'm going to go a little further. And then the back of the pen is resting against this. Close that up so you'll just have a little bit of space. So now when we do this, very carefully, and that's it. Once it's in, Don't go further. Don't think you're going to go a little further, get a little extra. No, once it's in, it is in. Don't press your luck. No pun intended, but don't press your luck. So you see, the beak is now on the pen. Next part is the most dangerous part, and the part that you could screw up the most. The turning mechanism. This is what makes the ink go in and out. Has to be installed properly. First thing you do is make sure it works before you install it. You may have a dud one, and then you put a dud one in the pen, and you can't get it out. So just make sure that it works. It goes in. Make sure you have the threads on the outside. This brass piece that goes in inside. So you place it in just at the tip. And again, we don't want to rush this because here's another spot where we could screw up big time. So we put this. This sometimes it's a little tricky. And I am a little concerned because it's tight. All right, now you see how that is? You got that resting against the pen, the tube on the inside of the pen. This turning mechanism is going to go inside the tube. So gently, very gently. You don't want to go all the way because we don't know. Because sometimes there's little variations in the length of the blanks. So we just want to go up to maybe the end of that brass. Oh, there we go. All right, that's it. Don't go all the way yet. You can always go back and do more, which I probably have to do. So you see I went up to, right up to the edge of the brass. Now we're going to test it. We're going to take the ink tube, put it in, turn it in, tighten it. And let's see if it even comes out, if the tip even comes out. So it is coming out, but only partially. All right, see, it's only coming out, if we could see that. Only the very tip is coming out. So we need to push this part in a little further. And I expected that. It almost always happens. It's better to take your time. Put it back in. Very gently, very gently. Go in a little more. All right, let's test this one now. Turn it in. Okay, there we go. All right, you know what? That's perfect. That's coming out just the right amount, and then it goes back in all the way. So we're good. So this part is done. Put this aside. We now have to do the other side with the finial.
Not the bottle.
No, not the butthole. The finial, not the butthole. Yeah. And the clip. Is this the leg? This looks like a pigeon foot. Sort of.
The foot.
We call this a foot.
How about the hoof? The hoof.
Call this a foot. So this is the clip and the finial. And these go on the other side of the pen. Now we're going to put it on that. And we're going to allow that, actually, because it does look pretty good, I'm not going to cover that. I want to make sure I don't cover the piece of resin with the clip because I want people to see that because that resin looks kind of nice, actually. All right, now we place this into the press with the cap on the metal part and the wood on the rubber part. And then here again, very, very gently, make sure it's straight. Make sure it's straight. Again, this is where you could screw up, so like don't rush this. If you have to take it out and put it back in like I just did, that's okay. You don't want to screw. You'll be so angry with yourself if you screw up at this point. Believe me, I've done it. All right, now we're ready, and boom, it is in. It is in without a problem. And we have the final part is the little ring. The little ring that goes into center, the decorative ring that goes into center. Do you have a name for this, Pecker? No?
How about Jimmy?
This is a little gold ring, and it goes over the ink, over the turning mechanism. And then this part of the pen goes onto there. And there we have our finished pen. Look at that. Playing with Our Wood podcast made its first product, and it works. Turns. That's not a bad looking pen. I think it came out as, I really like the way the resin looks, as I always tend to do. I had no hope for this. I really had no hope whatsoever for this. So, we did it. I think that came out pretty good for our first project. So like and subscribe. And Peckerhead appreciates it too. You did a good job
Yeah,
today.
we did good. You did pretty good too.
Thank you. Decided to keep him around. I didn't throw him out at the first episode, but decided to hang out with him. He's all right. He's a cool dude. So next episode we're going to do something different, something experimental, something I've been working on and thinking about for a while. So, and I tried a few of them and they were sort of semi-failures. So we're going to try another one. But please like, subscribe. Next episode we'll have a leaderboard, and go out there and play with your wood.